This evening, firstly, a tragic incident at Betterforwalk in East Coast Demerara has claimed the life of a 53-year-old woman constable. We'll cover the details of the fatal accident that occurred during a roadblock operation involving a speeding jeep and resulting in injuries to several individuals. The driver, found over the legal alcohol limit, faces potential legal consequences pending the ongoing investigation. In other news, Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, acting as president, officially reopened Guy Expo after a 7-year hiatus. We'll explore the Prime Minister's remarks emphasizing the event's role in providing business opportunities and showcasing Ghana's economic transformation. The Ghana Defence Force issues a public advisory denying any recruitment-related notices circulating and cautioning against misinformation. We'll delve into the force's statement urging citizens to ignore fake correspondence and emphasizing the official channel for communication. Turning our attention to regional affairs, Argentine voters are divided ahead of a tight presidential runoff between far-right candidate Javier Milei and Economy Minister Sergio Massa. Al Jazeera's Teresa Bo reports on the issues influencing voters, including the rise in violent crime. Lastly, Milei's military imposes a curfew in the northern city of Kidal after taking control from rebel groups. We'll discuss the significance of this military milestone in the government's effort to recapture territory. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's News Update for November 17, 2023. I'm Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. In a devastating incident at Betterforwalk in East Coast Demerara, 53-year-old woman constable Annette Abel, attached to the traffic department of the BV police station, lost her life in the line of duty. The fatal accident occurred around 10 p.m. on Thursday, November 16, when a speeding jeep collided with her and another colleague while they were manning a roadblock. The motor jeep PVV 8278 was driven by a 44-year-old man who later tested above the legal alcohol limit. The occupants, including a 46-year-old female, a 75-year-old male, and vehicles PNN 8124 and PAB 9932, driven by a 24-year-old and a 30-year-old respectively. Pedestrians involved were woman constable Annette Abel and woman inspector Shani Castillo, the inspector in charge at the Betterforwalk police station. Investigations revealed a roadblock on the southern carriageway in front of the BV police station, commanded by woman inspector Castillo and supported by a team of officers. While on duty, woman constable Abel had stopped two vehicles, PAB 9932 and PNN 8124, which were stationary when the speeding jeep approached the traffic light signal at the junction of Republic Drive, Betterforwalk and East Coast Highway. Disregarding the red light signal, the jeep collided with the traffic cones, part of the roadblock operation. The driver lost control, striking Abel into a motorcar PAB 9932, which collided with motorcar PNN 8124. The latter vehicle spun and collided with woman Inspector Castillo and the driver, Chris Allen, all thrown into the air. Tragically, Abel landed about 20 feet away on the road surface, her left foot severed below the knee. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The occupants of the jeep, along with the woman Inspector Castillo and Chris Allen, sustained injuries and were taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital for medical attention. The body of Abel was transported to Memorial Gardens Funeral Home, awaiting a post-mortem examination. The incident is under investigation. The driver of the jeep, found to be over the legal alcohol limit, is likely to face legal consequences pending the ongoing investigation. In similar news, police are investigating a fatal accident that claimed the life of a 63-year-old pedestrian on Farm Track Access Road at Madwini, East Bank Demerara, on Thursday, November 16. The accident involved motor lorry GAD 7213 driven by a 27-year-old from Farm Track Madwini and the now deceased pedestrian Arnold De Santos of Farm Track Madwini. Inquiries disclosed that around 6:15 p.m., the lorry was reversing south along the eastern side of Farm Track Access Road at a fast rate and collided with the male pedestrian who was walking on the east side of the road. The rear right side wheel of the lorry rolled over the pedestrian, who received injuries to his head and on his body. He was then picked up in an unconscious condition and escorted to the Diamond Diagnostic Center. Unfortunately, he was pronounced dead on arrival. The body was escorted to the Memorial Funeral Home, awaiting a post-mortem examination. The lorry driver was arrested and is in custody assisting with the investigation. In other news, the Ghana Defense Force wishes to advise the public that it has not produced, distributed, or caused to distribute any notice or national order regarding any form of recruitment at this time. The force has noted the circulation of fake correspondence in this regard and urges citizens to ignore such misinformation. The force takes this opportunity to remind the public that all official releases of the force are communicated through the media and the force's social media platforms. The Ghana Defense Force would encourage people to be socially responsible and refrain from mischievously sharing and distributing fake notices. Stick around when we return. Ghana Expo 2023 marks Ghana's economic transformation and future opportunities, and 425 Guyanese achieve master's degrees through gold scholarships.
Not a single bar of service.
Not with us. Digicel officially has the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speedtest, recognizes Digicel as the network with the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Be it in Aishalton or in Etteringban, we got you covered.
Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone, everywhere.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. It's Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you don't know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, jerk seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radical went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. She shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, acting as president, officially reopened Gaia Expo after a 7-year hiatus, emphasizing the event's role in providing business opportunities and showcasing Ghana's economic transformation. Speaking at the Sapphire Exhibition Complex in Georgetown, the Prime Minister highlighted the exhibition's significance in reflecting the country's evolving economic landscape and shift towards greater services, signifying maturity and modernization. The Prime Minister expressed that Gaia Expo 2023 is not just a reflection of Ghana's current state, but also a glimpse into the future. He emphasized the qualitative transformation occurring within the economic structure, citing developments in the financial sector, tourism, hospitality transformation, construction, logistics, and the expansion of information and communications technology. Under the theme, Transforming Guyana Through Investment, Innovation, and Resilience, the Prime Minister affirmed that this resonates with the government's vision for the country. Industry and Commerce Wanish Waldron and her team for organizing the event, noting that Gaia Expo 2023 heralds new economic opportunities for the private sector, particularly in the context of Guyana's fast-moving oil and gas sector. The event, a partnership among the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Go Investment, and the private sector, aims to enhance competitiveness and efficiency and foster growth. In other news, in the wake of the University of Guyana's graduation of over 3,500 individuals, 425 Guyanese stand out for earning master's degree across various disciplines from India's Jain University, all thanks to the Ghana Online Academy of Learning Scholarship Program. Initiated in November of 2021, these scholarships facilitated a comprehensive 2-year educational journey for the recipients, with many expressing deep humility and gratitude for the transformative goal initiative. Highlighting the broader impact of educational opportunities, 400 individuals successfully completed studies through scholarships at local institutions in 2022. Meanwhile, $1.8 billion has been earmarked to further enhance and expand the program in the coming year. The remarkable success stories underscore the profound and positive influence of educational initiatives on individuals' personal and professional development. Don't go away after the break. Kenya's parliament backs Haiti mission despite full case, and US does not show proof of Hamas use of hospitals.
Experience more than award-winning speed.
Way more.
Get the best that LTE has to offer on Digicel, officially the fastest mobile network in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speedtest, recognizes Digicel as the best mobile network in Guyana. With the best LTE experience and the fastest data speeds, experience it all with Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone, everywhere.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. He is Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, white spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you don't know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she papa buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. She shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fractured my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Kenya's parliament has approved a controversial plan by the government to deploy about 1,000 police officers to Haiti to help stop gang violence. This is despite a court order barring any deployment pending the outcome of a legal challenge into the plan. Opposition lawmakers commended the vote, but the ruling party used its majority to back the government following a fiery debate. Haiti had appealed for international help to tackle growing lawlessness. About 300 gangs are active across Haiti, and 80% of the capital, Port-au-Prince, is under gang control. Argentine voters are divided ahead of a tight presidential runoff elections on Sunday. They will be picking between far-right candidate Javier Milei and the economy minister Sergio Massa. The country's rising violent crime is among the many issues that are at the top of the voters' concerns. Al Jazeera's Teresa Bo reports.
These people come here every month demanding justice. Juan Carlos Cruz was murdered with a shot in the head 3 months ago in an attempted robbery. He was a doctor and was killed in the province of Buenos Aires, where violent crime has been on the rise.
They shot him in the head when they tried to rob his car, and he didn't do anything. They just shot him and we don't know why. What hurts is what is happening. My uncle wanted to save lives, and those who killed him did not care.
There are reports of violence incidents every day as people prepare to vote for the next president on Sunday.
The rise in violent crimes in Buenos Aires have alerted authorities about the social tension that exists in part of the country, with poverty rates on the rise and with families struggling to make ends meet because of soaring inflation.
Far-right candidate Javier Milei promises to battle insecurity with more forces on the streets and harsher laws to punish crime. Economy Minister Sergio Massa pledges to create a national law enforcement agency like the FBI to combat crime and drug trafficking. Father Andres Tocalini works in the parish in Villa Soldati, where crime has become an everyday issue. He says a comprehensive plan is needed to contain the ongoing situation.
We used to have more police. There is economic need. This increased violence. Young people that do not go to school. Drugs. In our neighborhoods, it's more complicated, and this generates delinquency. This doesn't mean that honest people go out to steal, but lack of resources makes everything more difficult.
That's why most Argentines are desperate for solutions that will protect them and their loved ones from random and often violent crime. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
Internationally, the U.S. is sticking by its assessment that Hamas uses hospitals as command and control centers. This, despite the lack of evidence shown so far. So how do they explain the scant proof Israel has provided? Al Jazeera's Patika Khan reports.
The U.S. says it is confident that Hamas was using the Al-Shifa hospital as a command center, and now the supposed proof.
Totally confirmed, without any doubt.
At the State Department, shrugging off the scant evidence.
I'm surprised when I hear people saying, oh, there were only 10 rifles in this room. It's a hospital. It's a hospital. There shouldn't be any assault rifles. Hold on, there shouldn't be any assault rifles at a hospital.
At the Pentagon, also still standing by the undisclosed intelligence it says it has.
Yes. You keep talking about the intelligence in the past tense, that you believe, the intelligence believes Hamas has used hospitals. Do you have intelligence that they currently are?
I have only the intelligence that I read out, the downgraded intelligence that I read out yesterday, I'm sorry, on Tuesday. Past tense, present tense, I don't want to parse out words here, but we know that Hamas has been using the hospital, the Al-Shifa hospital, and other hospitals in Gaza. I'm not going to get into more specifics on, what they're doing now, whereabouts, all of that. We know that the IDF has taken control of Al-Shifa hospital, so I don't have more to share with you on that front.
It matters because under international law, you have to have proof that a combatant is currently, right then in that moment, in the hospital in order to strike.
Yeah. Again, when I read out the downgraded material, we felt very confident that Hamas was using that hospital to conduct its operations.
This is what they found.
While the Biden administration is trying to downplay the lack of evidence presented to the public, experts say it could have a decisive impact on the future of the war.
This is really a turning point because if it turns out the Israelis are wrong, I think the pressure is going to be on them to have a ceasefire, which is a good step because it will stop the killing, at least temporarily, while the diplomats can work out some sort of arrangement.
At the Pentagon briefing, there were about as many questions on U.S. troops being targeted in Iraq and Syria as there were on this evidence. So while the Biden administration might not feel much pressure from the American media when it comes to his allies, that might be a much different story if Israel can't come up with actual proof that Hamas was in the hospital. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, at the Pentagon.
And finally, Mali's military is imposing a curfew in the northern city of Kidal after taking control of the area on Wednesday. It's seen as a significant military milestone as the government fights to recapture territory from rebel groups in the region, as Jazeera's Nicholas Haid has more.
Russian fighters from the Wagner mercenary group receiving a hero's welcome after liberating Mali's northern city of Kidal from Tuareg rebels. This is a major victory both for Wagner and the Malian army. They have succeeded where the French forces have failed, and without the help of the UN peacekeeping force. The Tuareg rebels, known as the Azawad forces, held the town for over a decade, but are now on the retreat.
We decided to reorganize ourselves, to come back with more strength and a new strategy.
Kidal was once the stronghold of Tuareg rebels wanting to create their own homeland. They call the Azawad, a territory almost double the size of France. After weeks of fighting, thousands of residents of Kidal, mostly Tuareg and Arabs, are fleeing to neighboring Mauritania. Most are women and children. They carry with them tales of horror, rape, torture, husbands or brothers or fathers hacked to death. Rights groups believe Mali's army and Russian fighters have committed war crimes.
These people are merciless. They are conducting, what they call scorched earth policy. They kill everything in front of them, and the civilians, the most affected ones, unfortunately.
In Mali's capital, Bamako, thousands gathered to celebrate the capture of Kidal, but also to denounce the UN peacekeeping force.
Since their arrival, the situation has only gotten worse. Hundreds of villages have been torched under their watch. They have been bystanders to communal violence. They need to get out.
The UN is withdrawing its peacekeepers in haste. Almost half of their barracks are being taken over by armed groups and not handed over to the Malian army. After a series of military losses and defeat, the capture of Kidal is seen as a significant step in recapturing lost territories from armed groups in northern Mali.
The capture of Kidal is a return of Malian sovereignty. It's a consecration of the Malian army efforts. They have been recruiting fighters. And most importantly, this victory shows that being an ally with Russia works.
This spells the end of the 2015 Algiers peace accord signed by Malian forces and Tuareg rebels. With the UN peacekeepers leaving, Malian and Russian fighters are stepping in, attempting to impose peace by force to a country spiraling into civil war. Nicholas Hawk, Al Jazeera.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is a 30-minute forecast. That's it, TV2 Headline News for this Friday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be off for the weekend, but you can tune in on Monday at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other and do have a wonderful weekend.